Okay, so all these words here mean addition. Plus. Now this stuff might seem like, oh, we've done it 100 times, but when we get to doing word problems and we have to add a lot of different operations in, you really have to know them all. Sum, this is the one that kids really forget all the time. Sum means to add. And when they say the sum of A and B, it has to be in parentheses. That means it's going to take something, it's like the quantity of or the sum of, they're going to put it in parentheses, okay? B added to A. B added to A means I'm going to put A first and then put B at the end. Now, addition is commutative, so does it really matter? Not really for addition, but you'll see it's going to matter for other ones. A increased by B. A plus B increased by B more than A. Star this one. Excuse me. Kids hate this more than and less than. More than and less than. More than and less than mean that you have to put this thing at the end. So it's that plus B is going to be at the end. B more than A. So it comes, so if it's more than or less than, let's go over here. Let's do less than next. B less than A. That means that minus B is going to come at the end. Okay, so that one's really important. More than, less than, at the end. You guys remember that from last year? Should I tell you that? Exceeds means more than. 7 exceeds 5 by 2. So 7 more than 5. Oh, 7 exceeds 5 by 2. Like that. 7 equals 5. Okay, then all the words next here, I'll do it in a different color, means subtract. A minus B. The difference between A and B, again, usually that's going to be in parentheses. So they're going to add other things to it, like 5 times the difference of A and B. B subtracted from A, again, that B subtracted from A. I don't know if you remember this from last year. They said anything after the word from comes first. So A minus B. A decreased by B, again, A minus B. We already did B less than A, the B comes at the end. A reduced by B. A diminished by B. They all mean A minus B. Now, multiplication is tricky because multiplication, if you look up here on the top, it can be A dot B, A parentheses B. You can use 2 parentheses, or you can have A, B together with nothing between them. Okay? So A times, so all of these means A times B. A, B, the product of A and B, I could write it like this, product. Again, product is the biggest word that you guys forget. B is multiplied by A. Again, A of means to multiply 2. And division gets kids confused because division, gets people confused because of the fraction bar, okay? A divided by B, the quotient of A and B. This is the one that confuses kids the most, this last one. A over 4 means 1/4 of A, or A divided by 4. Okay, so you can write it A over 4, or I could do it like this, 1/4 of A, make them separate. You could put a parentheses around it. You don't need the parentheses. And the biggest thing when we do this is that commas break up mathematical phrases. Okay? All right, so let's see how well you all can do this from last year, what you can remember, okay? So I want you guys to look at 1, 2, 3, and 4. Take a minute, try it on your own, and then we'll go over it. All right, so right now, before we start, we're going to cross out this last problem, okay? So we only have a couple more to do. All right. So the Miller family made mathematical statements out of their ages as follows. Tom is 4 less than twice Gary's age. Rebecca is the youngest, and she is 2 less than half of Gary's age after it was increased by 3. Sam's age is the ratio of 7 more than Gary's age to 8 less than Gary's age. Who do we keep talking about here more? Gary. So Gary is our X. I always say the last thing, usually in the first or second sentence, and here it happens in a lot of sentences, the last thing we say is what our X is going to be when we do let statements, okay? So it says, translate each of the Miller family ages into algebraic expressions in terms of Gary's age G. So usually we have to start out with a let statement. I'm going to start out with it up here. So we're going to let G equal Gary's age. Now, they already told us that, so we don't have to rewrite it, but they won't always tell you. Okay? Oh, yes, hi.
All right, so let's go through these one at a time. We got Gary's age is G. So if we look at Tom, Tom is 4 less than twice Gary's age. So what would that look like? 4 less than twice Gary's age. You got it, Rihanna? Ooh, yes. Only we're going to use a G instead of X because they told us to use G. 2G minus 4. All right, so let's go to Rebecca. She is 2 less than half Gary's age after it was increased by 3. That one's not an easy one. So we have to do the increase by 3 first. So we got to take Gary's age G, add 3 to it first. And then it says it was half of that. It said it was 1/2 Gary's age after it was increased by 3. So 1/2 G plus 3. And then minus 2 at the end. So then Sam's is the ratio of 7 more than Gary's age to 8 less than Gary's age. A ratio tells you you're going to have a fraction. A ratio creates that fraction. Our top is 7 more than Gary's age. So what would that look like? 7 plus G, G plus 7, doesn't matter, same thing. The bottom is 8 less than Gary's age. So that would be G minus 8. So what we want you to do right now is go through and actually figure out what everybody's age is. They tell you Gary is 11, so they're telling us G equals 11. We want you to plug that into each of the expressions. Find out how old Tom is. And then find out how old Rebecca is. And then Sam. All right, let's see what we got. How old's Tom?
18.
Tom is 18. How old is Rebecca? 5. And Sam is 6. So 18, 5, 6, and then they got an 11-year-old. So what they want you to do down here is they want you to use Gary's age of 11. They want you to come up with an expression to represent your age. So for example, for Mrs. Pelkey, mine would be 3G plus 1 would be my expression to find my age. So what I want you guys to do right now is come up with an expression to find your age. Keeping in mind G is 11, G plus something, or you can get creative and do G squared minus something else. But come up with an expression on how to figure out your age. Minus 6. That means you're 16. Yeah. If you're 15, I had some people earlier come up with G plus 4. It doesn't have to be like this big, huge thing. G plus 4 works. You can always just add until you get to your age there. But that's all they wanted you to do for that part. Then, as we said, we're skipping number 6.